All right. Um, Let me pour my kadak chai and before I start the video. Okay. Um, I get a lot of emails and messages from people on various queries. It can be personal branding, jobs. Sometimes I get messages with regards to questions about life, love, marriage. And then there are these, I would say, incidents that people share where they just don't know what to do. And this is one such incident which I want to share with you. It's a true story, but obviously I have to change the private details to protect the identity, and I have taken permission before sharing this. Okay, let's make the long story short. The gist is this young man from India who is in his late 20s was in love with this girl, which he was in love with her from college days. And they both, love each other, want to marry each other, all that stuff. And then obviously he wants her to be with him. So he does whatever it takes to ensure that she gets a job where he is, living and where he's staying because she stays far off. And in order to help her achieve these criterias, he literally pays for her extra education, extra certification, extra expenses. He even takes a bank loan. He has taken a bank loan. He has borrowed from other people, all because he knows that he is going to marry her one day. They both love each other, and he wants her to succeed so that they can fast track their road to marriage. And eventually, it seems that he paid for some course of hers and helped her get a job in a company which was more like a kind of a call center or some service center or whatever. And this company, it seems it paid very well. Maybe it was a call center or service center for a multinational brand, and that was her dream. And he made sure that she would achieve it. Okay, and for her to stay, in order to stay, he even paid the rent to make sure that she would settle down. He bought her good clothes because he wanted her to look smart. She was not from a very well-to-do family. Neither was he, but he was slightly earning much more. So finally, it seems that he helped her get a job, paid money, took the house for rent, and paid her expenses, everything else. And unfortunately for him, his job was somewhere far off. The place where he managed to get a job, he got transferred. He had to move slightly far off. So it kind of threw a monkey wrench into their plans to get married. However, the goal was still there. After 1 year or 2 year of saving money, they'll eventually get married. And he was busy paying for all the expense. She was busy saving everything so that they could ultimately have enough money to start their own life. And every month he would keep sending her money so that she would save it in her account. Even though it was a joint account, it seems that he trusted her 100% because they know each other since college days. One fine day, apparently, he decided to give her a surprise. When it's your birthday, you give her a surprise. Valentine's Day, give her a surprise. Send chocolates and teddy bears and this and that. One day, he decided to give her a surprise. He turned up at her office with a bouquet and flowers and teddy bears and chocolates and this and that. And he turned up there only to find out that she is not there. She's gone for her break or whatever. So he was kind of like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. Waited. She was not coming. Finally, he thought to himself, okay, since she's not here, might as well go down the building because, I can't wait in the office. Yeah. So he had his flowers, his teddy bears, his chocolates, his bouquets, everything else to surprise her. wanted to spend the time with her. And when he went down the building and he was waiting there, lo and behold, he saw her walking towards the office building. And he was, kind of overjoyed. His girlfriend, the love of his life and everything else. But then he saw something which didn't look very appropriate. She was laughing happily, like in total bliss. And she was also very, like, physically close to the guy who apparently was her manager. And she was very overly friendly with him. And the manager was obviously, slightly older than her and earning more than her and, more classy, more well dressed. And she was, laughing with him and, poking him and, they both are giggling. And then when she saw him, she stopped laughing and stopped listening, and even the manager stopped. And she just told, Sir, I'll come later. Okay? He said, okay, fine. And he looked at him, gave him a funny look, and went off. This guy, totally confused, not knowing what to do. It seems that he was holding the bouquet of flowers, the teddy bear, the gifts, the chocolates, and he was totally like stunned. He didn't know what to say, and he just looked at her and said, where were you? I was waiting for you. She immediately asked him, why did you come here? She didn't ask him like, oh, when did you come? She didn't say when. Or she didn't ask him, how long have you been waiting? She asked him, why did you come here? He said, I came here to surprise you. And she got angry and she got defensive and she's like, why are you coming here? This is my workplace. This is not a place for romance and this and that. And what are you doing holding all this? Do you know how it makes me look like? And she went on berating him publicly in front of everyone. Like, what has gone wrong with you? This is my professional place. This is a place where I work. It's my image and all that. And he was more like, okay, I'm sorry. I just came to wish you, like a surprise thing and say, please don't come here. Okay, I don't want you here. So then he said, okay, after work No, I don't want you here. And he was completely confused. He was like, what do you mean you don't want me here? She's like, I'm busy. This is a working place and I have things to do after. He's like, no, after work we'll meet up at the apartment. No, we are not going to meet at my apartment. My apartment. And he was totally confused. He was totally shocked. He was like, what are you saying? Like, my apartment? And she was like, she took his name and said, listen, don't you get it? This is what she told him, man. Don't you get it? She's like, I'm now focused on my career. I'm focused on my work. I don't have time for all these childish things. I've been trying to tell you all this while that, I want to focus on my career. You don't seem to get it. And she put the blame on him that he was hindering her. He was causing her a nuisance. He was causing her. And she didn't bring up a single thing about him, she taking money from him. He had paid the rent for her. He was taking her. Nothing she bought. And this poor chap was so stunned. He didn't even, he was not one of those aggressive types who would say like put her in a place and say, I was fucking paying your money. I was paying this. He was just stunned because he completely believed this girl. He thought she loved him and he was under the impression they were going to get married. She finally told him, leave me alone or I'll call the police. He just stood there. She went off. And he stood there and he had no idea what to do. And finally, it was like, when it settled in, it seems he completely broke down. He didn't have the courage to confront her because he was that much in love with her. And finally, when he did take the courage to want to go and meet her at the apartment, okay, she didn't open the door. She said, leave me alone or I'll call the police. Okay, just leave me alone. I don't want you in my life. I don't want you anywhere. And she said, He said, at least talk to me. She said, you call me on my phone, don't talk to me otherwise. Fine. By the way, by that time, their social media, it seems she had deactivated her account, and she was non-existent. On Facebook they were supposed to be together and all that. And she called him and told him to leave him alone, or she was going to go to the police, stating that he was stalking her, he was blackmailing her, and she felt threatened by him. All right, so now the only thing left to do was for him to, face reality. Like, what is he going to do now? And he was totally confused. He never experienced this. This was the first time. This was the only girl he fell in love with, and this was the only girl he wanted to spend his life with. And now all of a sudden, he's facing with the problem that he's facing for the first time. So that is where he reached out to me, and he was in, you could say, mentally in a very bad place. Mentally, emotionally, in every way, spiritually, whatever, physically. So the first thing he had to face was that she had used him. She had used him, and the only reason why, she showed her true colors was because he caught her red-handed. Okay, like they say, he caught her with her pants down. And because she didn't want to face the music, the only thing she knew was how to turn the tables over and blame him for everything else. She, literally gave all the bullshit excuses from, you don't know how to treat me, and you are abusive, and you are possessive, and you are very negative, and, just trying to put him down. Anyway, the main thing was, which he got in touch with me, was to ask me how would he overcome all this. And also, given the fact that his parents knew that he was in love with her, his friends knew that he was in love with her, he had taken multiple bank loans or personal loans from other people. He had wasted so many years of his life just to build her up so that they both could stay together. And he asked me, like, what to do now. Okay. And point blank, I told him, there's nothing you can do. It's over. It's finished. You don't have anything in writing that you can take legally. You can't go to the cops or the police and say she used me. The Indian law supports the female more. So you can't say that she emotionally blackmailed me. She told me she'll marry me, and then she didn't marry me. I said, you can't. The girl can say that. You can't say that. I just told him, there's only one thing for you to do, and that is to pick yourself up, to dust yourself, and move on. And I told him, even though this sounds like very simple and very easy, it's going to be one of the hardest things you're ever going to do in your life. Because I have been through a breakup. I've been through an very difficult emotional phase. And I told him that it'll take you years. It'll take you years, if not years, it'll take you months. Because if you truly loved her, it's going to hurt you really deep. And he kind of broke down, and he was like, I really loved her. I didn't cheat on her. I was very pure. I was very true to her. I really felt sorry for the guy, but then again, what can you do? And he was like, she was so innocent. And I said, the problem is females, when you look at their faces, they look very innocent, they look very sweet, they look very nice. If looks was all that mattered, you can get to see the reality. Just check any adult video, porno video. You'll see these females, they have such innocent looking faces. They look so cute, they look so nice, they look so beautiful, pretty, but they do the most vile things. So it's not just the looks, it is more than that. Anyway, I gave him bits and pieces of advice, and he came to know about me because, of the videos. But what I want to tell you guys is, through this example, is don't invest your energy, your effort, your emotions, your time, especially your money, on anybody more than you can bear. Because one day, there's no, life offers you no guarantees. And one day, when things don't work out, you can't claim those things back. Like all those years that he gave her, all the sacrifices that he made, all the money that he took on behalf of her, everything that he has done, the very fact that he uprooted his own career, his own dreams, everything that he had for her, and now she has dumped him, well, there's nothing he can do. So I told him the only thing left for you to do is now move on. What has happened is happened, and do your best to put this behind you. And I also very explicitly told him, don't take revenge. Don't do anything that will hurt you or hurt her or harm you or harm her. The reason I'm sharing this incident with you is because this is not a one-off story. This is a very common phenomenon, either for a guy or for a girl. And this happens very much, very frequently in many parts of the world and especially in India. So just be careful. Don't fall for a girl thinking that they are innocent, that they are sweet, they are nice. And please don't invest your time, effort and money on them, because if things don't work out, you're never going to get it back. So I hope this story provides you with a cautionary tale what you need to do with your life. And if you have a partner, and even after marriage, remember, there are no guarantees that things would work out or not. Be very careful with your money, your effort, your time. And remember, in a relationship, you tend to get used. No matter what the relationship, who the relationship is, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It should always be equal. Anyway, that is what I want to leave you with. Feel free to comment down below, and please don't bash up the guy. I think the guy already has enough and more on his plate. So if you were to read it, give him some love and some positive reinforcement. All right? And yeah, let me know what you have to say. Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.